and welcome to World News. Today we lead with widespread anti-Trump protests across the United States as thousands took to the streets to voice their opposition to the president's policies. We'll also have updates on a SpaceX launch in Florida, rising floodwaters in the US Midwest, and escalating tensions in the Middle East, including the latest on Israeli military operations in Gaza and ongoing hostage negotiations. Stay with us for these stories and more as we bring you the top global stories. Well, let's begin with the thousands of New Yorkers chanted "This is what democracy looks like" and other anti-Trump slogans as they marched through the streets of the New York City, participating in nationwide rallies against the US president. Crowds expressing anger over President Donald Trump's leadership marched and rallied in numerous American cities on Saturday, marking the largest day of demonstrations so far by an opposition movement seeking to regain momentum after the initial weeks of the Republicans' term. The hands-off demonstrations took place in over 1,200 locations across all 50 states, organized by more than 150 groups, including civil rights organizations, labor unions, LGBTQ+ advocates, veterans, and election activities. Reports indicate that the rallies were peaceful, with no immediate arrests.
No human is illegal. No tyrant, no king, no democracy, no time. Donald Trump has got to go. Hey, hey, Donald Trump has got to go. Hey, hey, Donald Trump has got to go. Hey, hey. No human is illegal. No human is illegal. Donald Trump has got to go. Hey, hey. Shut it down. No tyrant, no king. No tyrant, no king. No tyrant, no king. No democracy, no time. Donald Trump has got to go. Hey, hey, Donald Trump has got to go. Hey, hey, Donald Trump has got to go. Hey, hey. No human is illegal. No human is illegal. Donald Trump has got to go. Hey, hey. Shut it down. No tyrant, no king. No tyrant, no king. No tyrant, no king. No democracy, no time. Donald Trump has got to go. Hey, hey. Donald Trump has got to go. Hey, hey. Donald Trump has got to go. Hey, hey. No human is illegal.
SpaceX successfully launched its Falcon 9 rocket carrying 28 Starlink satellites into orbit on Saturday from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida at 11:07 p.m. local time. This launch marked the 19th mission for the rocket's first stage, which has been previously used for crew missions and other Starlink satellite deployments. The 45th Weather Squadron has predicted windy but clear conditions during the nearly 4-hour launch window, forecasting a greater than 95% chance of acceptable conditions at liftoff, which proved accurate. Launch weather officers noted that a high pressure ridge over the Atlantic extending across central Florida will persist through the weekend, bringing strong subsidence across the peninsula, limiting moisture and preventing significant cloud cover. The only potential concern was lift-off winds. The Falcon 9 first stage booster designated B-1078 flew for its 19th time. Its prior missions included Crew 6, USS F-124 and 14 previous Starlink flights. Approximately 8 minutes after liftoff, B-1078 landed on the drone ship, just read the instructions, marking the 114th landing for JRTI and the 427th booster landing to date.
One, ignition, engines full power, and liftoff. Go Falcon, go Starlink.
Vehicles pitching downrange.
Invac ignition.
H2 is in terminal guidance.
Landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
3, 2, 1. Ignition, engines full power, and liftoff. Go Falcon, go Starlink.
Vehicles pitching downrange.
Invac ignition.
H2 is in terminal guidance.
Landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
3, 2, 1. Ignition, engines full power, and liftoff. Go Falcon, go Starlink.
Vehicles pitching downrange.
Invac ignition.
H2 is in terminal guidance.
Landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
3, 2, 1. Ignition, engines full.
Billionaire Elon Musk speaking to Italy League leader Matteo Salvini via video conference at the League's Congress in Florence on Saturday expresses hope for a future very close, stronger partnership and a zero tariff zone between the US and Europe. Salvini, the leader of the far-right anti-migrant League Party and Italy's vice premier in the conservative government led by Premier Giorgia Meloni, listened as Musk, an advisor to President Donald Trump and owner of Tesla, SpaceX and social media platform X, outlined his vision. Musk, who also heads the newly established Department of Government Efficiency, emphasized his role in government downsizing. He stated that the ideal scenario would be a zero tariff zone in the future with a free trade zone between Europe and North America.
The United States and Europe can establish a very close partnership. We obviously are, there's an alliance already, but I'm hopeful that there can be a very close relationship with America and Europe. And I'm hopeful, for example, with the tariffs, that at the end of the day, I hope it is agreed that both Europe and the United States should move, ideally, in my view, to a zero tariff situation, effectively creating a free trade zone between Europe and North America. That would be that's what I hope occurs.
Starlink, Tesla, ci sono
The mass immigration is insane, and will lead to the destruction of any country that allows unfettered mass immigration. That country will simply cease to exist. At the end of the day, it is a numbers game, a numbers situation.
Thanks a lot.
The United States and Europe can establish a very close partnership. We obviously are, there's an alliance already, but I'm hopeful that there can be a very close relationship with America and Europe. And I'm hopeful, for example, with the tariffs, that at the end of the day, I hope it is agreed that both Europe and the United States should move, ideally, in my view, to a zero tariff situation, effectively creating a free trade zone between Europe and North America. That would be that's what I hope occurs.
Starlink, Tesla, ci sono
The mass immigration is insane, and will lead to the destruction of any country that allows unfettered mass immigration. That country will simply cease to exist. At the end of the day, it is a numbers game, a numbers situation.
Thanks a lot.
The United States and Europe can establish a very close partnership. We obviously are, there's an alliance already, but I'm hopeful that there can be a very close relationship with America and Europe. And I'm hopeful, for example, with the tariffs, that at the end of the day, I hope it is agreed that both Europe and the United States should move, ideally, in my view, to a zero tariff situation, effectively creating a free trade zone between Europe and North America. That would be that's what I hope occurs.
Starlink.
Another round of torrential rain and flash flooding struck parts of the South and Midwest on Saturday, exacerbating conditions in areas already saturated from days of severe storms that also produced deadly tornadoes. Forecasters warned that river levels in some areas would continue to rise for several days. Overnight into Sunday morning, new tornado warnings were issued in Alabama and Mississippi, along with flash flood warnings in multiple counties in Kentucky, Mississippi, and Tennessee. Consecutive days of heavy rainfall have battered the central U.S., causing rapid swelling of waterways and triggering numerous flash flood emergencies from Texas to Ohio. The National Weather Service indicated that dozens of locations across several states were expected to reach major flood stage, potentially leading to extensive flooding of structures, roads, bridges, and other critical infrastructure. At least 16 weather-related fatalities have been reported since the storm began, including 10 in Tennessee. A 57-year-old man died on Friday evening after exiting a car that was swept off a road in West Plains, Missouri. Flooding claimed the lives of two individuals in Kentucky, including a 9-year-old boy who was swept away on his way to school that same day, and a 74-year-old whose body was discovered on Saturday inside a fully submerged vehicle in Nelson County, according to authorities. Now coming to Canada, Ottawa police reported on Sunday that the situation at the East Block of Canada's Parliament, where a man had gained unauthorized access and remained overnight, concluded peacefully. The individual has been taken into custody and a criminal investigation is underway. The Canadian Parliament was placed under lockdown on Sunday due to the incident. The barricaded man call at East Block has ended without incident. One man is in custody. The Ottawa Police criminal investigation is ongoing and an update will be provided in the morning. We thank the public for its cooperation, the Ottawa Police stated in a post on X. Earlier on Saturday afternoon, police had issued a warning advising anyone inside the East Block, which houses parliamentary offices, to seek shelter in the nearest room, lock all doors and remain hidden. There is an ongoing police operation on Bent Brook Crescent in Bearhaven. Please avoid the area. Further updates will be provided as they become available. Ottawa Police had also posted on X. People were evacuated from the building as police cordoned off a large section of Wellington Street in front of Parliament Hill, halting both traffic and pedestrian movement. Ottawa Police Inspector Mark Baumeister informed reporters that the man gained unauthorized access to the East Block of Parliament Hill and the circumstances surrounding the incident are being treated as suspicious. More than 3 hours into the lockdown, police expanded the exclusion zone, extending it from Wellington Street to include an additional block on Spark Street. Ottawa Police had deployed specialized units, including at least one canine unit and explosive units. A government website indicated that the East Block housed the offices of the senators and their staff, but Parliament Hill had been relatively quiet this month due to the ongoing federal election. Parliament had been dissolved since the election was called on March 23. The election polls will be held nearly 6 months earlier than the original scheduled date of October 27, moving the election to an earlier time frame than initially anticipated.
And or a food truck. We got a lot of
Yeah, you have to, but just more how
Let's shift our focus to Asia, where racism is suspected as the motivation behind the killing of a young Indian national in a township near Ottawa, the Canadian capital, on Friday. While the victim of the stabbing incident has not been officially identified, individuals providing support to his wife in Rockland, Ontario, identified him as 27-year-old Dharmesh Katria. They reported that on Friday afternoon, as he was leaving a shared laundry room in his building, he was stabbed by a neighbor, a white male believed to be in his 60s, who had allegedly previously directed racial and anti-Indian slurs at the victim and his wife. Katria, who was from the Bhavnagar district in Gujarat, India, arrived in Canada as an international student in 2019 and was currently on a work permit. The individuals who spoke to the Hindustan media requested anonymity due to the safety concerns. They shared videos showing the police arresting the suspect. Katria's young wife, who joined him in Canada last year, can be heard screaming in distress in one of the videos. The alleged attacker was taken into custody by police following the incident, but his name has not yet been released. An online fundraiser established for victims' family stated, "It's with the profound sadness and heartbreak that we share the tragic and sudden loss of our dear friend Dharmesh. on April 4, 2025. Dharmesh was taken from us in an unprovoked hate crime and senseless attack by a neighbor. The violence that ended his life has left his family, friends and the entire community in shock and mourning. Well, coming to Middle East, a large cloud of smoke was seen rising over the northern Gaza Strip from the Israeli side of the border as the Israeli military conducted operations. On Friday, the military confirmed the launch of a ground offensive in the Gaza City area, deploying troops to expand the security zone previously established within Palestinian territory. This ongoing military action is part of efforts to secure and control the region. Meanwhile, protesters in Israel gathered in the streets of Tel Aviv on Saturday for their weekly demonstration, calling for a ceasefire and the release of all remaining hostages held by Hamas in Gaza. As protests against Hamas intensify in northern Gaza, Israel has threatened to hold on to territory until all hostages are released. Becky Anderson spoke with Mohammed Shahada, a Gaza researcher, writer and human rights activist, about the escalating unrest and Israel's reaction to the anti-Hamas demonstrations. Well, that brings us to the end of our world news broadcast for this evening. We have covered the nationwide anti-Trump protests in the US, the successful SpaceX launch, the severe flooding in the American Midwest, Elon Musk comments on US-Europe relations, the ongoing conflict and protest in Israel and Gaza, Iran's response to potential US talks, a security incident at Canada's parliament, and a tragic incident in Canada with suspected racial motivations. Thank you for joining us for the latest updates and developments on these stories. Please stay tuned to CVR English.